How did it feel to be back out there for the first practice of camp?
It felt great. I'm excited to be back, back here, training center, back in New York. Had a great summer in Sweden. Enjoyed the weather, enjoyed my friends, family. But it's this time of year where you really start to focus on what's ahead and a new season, a new challenge, and it's just great to see everyone. Obviously some new faces here as well, coaching staff and a couple of new players. But camp is always fun. So far of all the camps I've done, it's always the same feeling. You're anxious to get going, a little nervous, excited. So it feels really good to be here.
You met with the new coach over the summer. When you came out of that, was there something that excited you about that meeting?
Well, first off, him as a person. I got a really great impression of how he liked to discuss things. He's very open and yeah, it seems like a great guy. And then now it's the other part of him. To see him as a coach. Moving forward, it's going to be under different circumstances. It's one thing to sit down in July and discuss, and another to discuss under pressure. And I'm curious to see how things are going to feel in here. I think every time you have a new coach, you're going to have a different feel in the room. Just the way they coach, obviously, and the way they speak to the group. And you always learn something. So that's exciting too, and get that opportunity.
Quinn seemed very hands-on today at practice. What were your first impressions of him out there?
Well, we are going to play a little differently, so obviously these first couple of weeks are going to be huge for us to pay attention to a lot of the new details and how we want to play the game. The skating's going to come, the strength is going to come, and a lot of it is already there, but the big thing here is for us now to understand how do we want to play. That's big focus right now, the first couple of days.
How's your knee?
Good. Body feels really good. Trained hard this summer, so I feel like I'm coming here, ready to get going. Last year was a little different with the knee situation, but after I had the knee injection. After this season, I took a couple of weeks off, and after that I've been training exactly the way I want to skate a little more this year. And so, yeah.
Did you have an injection this summer or a procedure?
Right, yeah, injection right after the season.
Right after the season.
Yeah. So then I took 4 weeks off, and then when I got back to Sweden, I skated for a few weeks, and then started working out, and then break from the skating and then back to skating late July. So a little more skating this summer.
Is it lighter? Are you lighter?
Maybe a little bit, but not. I've been around 182 the last couple of years. For a lot of years I was around 200 pounds, but the last 4 years so I've been lighter. Yeah, 180.
Is that by design?
I want to try to stay a little lighter. I feel lighter on my feet, and but pretty similar to the last 2 years, I would say, around 180 to 184. It's, I think, a good weight for me right now.
With your knee, is it something that you're going to have to sort of manage going forward, or do you not think about it anymore?
No.
Get update, maintenance?
It's not the first time. Over the years, I bruised my knee a couple of times. But you learn how to deal with that. But now it's back to where it needs to be, and I feel great. Right now, there's nothing really bothering me. I can go 100%, and that's a good feeling.
You said at the end of last year that this year has to be about winning. I don't remember the exact quote, but you said something like that. What's your mindset going in now? The team is, where it is.
I think you got to look at short term. I think right now have a really strong camp, and then build it week by week. When we You can feel we start over a little bit with the new system, new coaching staff, and a little different mentality. So I don't think we should look at too far. We need to look at it, get a good camp, good start, and build off of that, and then see how far that takes us. And that's going to tell us, how we'll stack up against other teams. But I'm not going to sit here and predict or say this and that. I think the focus right now is just to start. We do have a lot of skill in the room. I see that, and a lot of hungry players. So that's a great combination. We just need to get on the same page here on how we want to play and take it from there.
When you hear whatever the details are of how Coach Quinn wants to play, is that something that you endorse, that you would like what you hear in terms of how he wants to play or the things that he wants to institute?
Well, you can play in many different ways in this league. I think the most important thing is just everybody buys into it and everybody's on the same page. For me, the game doesn't change. I need to focus on what I need to do. And, of course, you got to be small things where you as a goalie and the D-man, of course, you work off each other. But bottom line, I need to focus on my game. And then, as a group, we just need to come together and everybody needs to understand what needs to be done. But there's a lot of different ways you can play. You buy into that style.
Do you still very much want to be part of this whole thing, this whole, how long it lasts?
Yeah. Again, we don't. I know people talk about rebuild, and nobody knows how long of a project that is. But if you focus on the start, we'll see how we stack up, and we try to do as good as we can. But yeah, there's no other place I want to be. I feel great. Like I said, excited to be back here and just see how far we can take this already this year.